Fantastic. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Just Bear With Me podcast. With your host, with the most, your boy Josh. So I got this Rodecaster mixer, which is how I'm using this microphone you see here, and how I'm recording audio and stuff. It's pretty dope. It comes with this preset sound effect board or buttons panel. That song that I was just playing, it reminds me so much of Joe Dirt. You know when Joe Dirt's like on the radio station and he's telling his story. I feel like they're always playing that stupid song in the beginning. Anyways, that's just what I was thinking of right now. Welcome back, guys. I hope you all had a great week. I know I did. Pretty exciting stuff. Pretty amazing. I'm a little tired right now, if you can't tell. Had my baby, like I said I was going to. Baby Noah's here. Round of applause. Yay, baby Noah. Yeah, he's here. He's keeping us up at all hours of the day and night. It's great. Everything went smoothly with that. It took about 2 days. Let's see. We went to the hospital around 6:45, almost 7. She got induced, and I think by 4:30-ish, I think it was 4:27 in the afternoon, he was born. So pretty smooth process. There's no complications at all. Yeah, it was good. He's a healthy baby for the most part. I say he's a healthy baby. I say for the most part because I noticed, well, everybody noticed that he probably has like a crooked smile when he cries. He's like, So he's probably gonna be like what's his name, Sylvester Stallone, Adrian. So I'm just kidding. They said that it might fix itself. If it does or it doesn't bother me. He's still a really cute baby. Maybe you guys will get to see him sometime. I feel kind of weird about posting my kids online. I do, sometimes like on my story, but not where it's like on there for a long time for everyone to see. But yeah, so we were there for like 2 days, because after the baby's born, you gotta hang out for about 24 hours or so until they can discharge you and stuff. And yeah, that was on Tuesday. Today is Sunday, so he's like 4-5 days old now, something like that. It's been good. My other son, Vincent, my firstborn, is getting along with him. At first he attacked him, but after that he's been pretty cool, kind of curious. Whenever he's crying, he kind of was like, "Huh? Like, what? Is everything all right? What's going on over there?" So he's being a good older brother so far. Yeah, give it up for Vincent. Give it up for me finally kind of memorizing the stupid soundboard. Anyways, yeah, man, life is good. I'm out here in Salt Lake City. Have my 2 boys now. It's crazy. I'm a dad. But I'm a dad with 2 kids. That's insane. 1 kid is insane. So I'm just like, oh yeah, let's just have another one. So now I got 2. I got 2 boys. But I'm actually the happiest I've ever been. I think my firstborn, Vincent, he has taught me so much patience in life. Like an insane amount, where I definitely, it's kind of cliche. People say, something like, I didn't save them, they saved me. It's kind of like that. Only he didn't save me, nor did I save him. But he made me a better person. That's for sure. I feel like I've had anger issues before in the past where like I just had a short temper, couldn't control my emotions all that well. And, when you have a child who all they do is test you, not even on purpose. That's just by nature. That's just what they are. They're kids and they're all over the place and they would just want to do whatever they want. They just want to scream and kick and poop on you and pee on you. I just want to piss on you. R. Kelly. Yeah, so they're always testing you, but it's made me a better person. Like I'm not like there's no other way for me to say it than he really has taught me patience, and I feel like I'm just much better of a human being now because of it. And I'll tell you what, after having my firstborn, he's only like a year and a half now. I think he's 18 months. Um, Having my second son now, Noah, uh, everything's gotten easier. I feel like before when I had my first boy, I was so scared to touch him after we left the hospital because I felt like he was made out of glass and I was just gonna pick him up and just all his bones were gonna break. But babies are pretty sturdy. If you don't have kids, and you're gonna have one soon, you're gonna be okay. Just grab him, twist his arm if you have to get inside his onesie. Don't break his arm, but you can manhandle the baby a little bit. It'll be okay. They're not gonna break on you. I mean, if you really think about it, they squeeze themselves out of a difficult place that's cramped, and if they're able to go through that, then they're somewhat durable. Yeah, so I feel like being a father again, or continuing being a father, but of a different child, it's a lot easier. Like I the first time I changed my first boy's diaper, like I just didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even know how to like really do it. Now I'm a natural. I've probably changed 1,000 diapers now. It's crazy how like you becoming a parent is like so scary if it's your first time. But it's crazy how you just become used to it and you become good at it. And even though it's something like as scary as raising someone, and I'm sure I'm gonna go through so much more in life. I mean, one of them is like 4 days old. The other one is a year and a half. Like I said, I have barely even scratched the surface. I imagine of all the things that I'm gonna have to go through as a parent. Um, but it gives me confidence knowing that I've become a better person. Like I said, my boys made me a better person. God, it feels good. Feels good to be back though. Um, so yeah, that's what's going on in my life right now. I kind of wanted to talk about something that I kind of forgot to talk about last time when I was talking about manifesting things into existence. When I was listening to my old podcast, I remember talking about how maybe I was gonna go up and do stand up, and yeah, I was like, I was saying something about, yeah, I'm gonna go tell jokes to people. Literally, almost everything that I talked about on my podcast before, I accomplished in that year span where I didn't do the podcast. I actually did go up and do my first stand up. It was an open mic at Wise Guys Comedy Club. It was a new club at the time in Vegas, right there in the art district, like the downtowny area. It's kind of a hipster area, but not really. I don't think anything in Vegas is kind of hipster because I don't know. There's just not that kind of a scene there. It's just mostly industry people. By industry, I mean like casinos, strippers, hookers, bartenders, the cocktail waitresses. Um, it's pretty business oriented. Everyone's there for a reason for the most part. I feel like it's not like other places in the world where, there kind of is like a hipster scene. People go to coffee shops and do whatever hipsters do. I have no idea, but it's not there in Vegas. Yeah, there's that. Let's see. There's a few more things I want to talk about. There's the movie The Matrix, the new one. I finally got to see that. Not even all of it. I think I've watched all the way up to like the last 20 minutes or so. But it sucks. And it sucks that I have to say that it sucks because it really does suck. It's just terrible. Like sometimes it's like, just don't mess with things, like the first three were okay. The first one was fucking the most amazing movie in the world, right? And it should just be left like that. They shouldn't have made this fourth one. It's pointless. Keanu Reeves is so old now. The fighting doesn't really grasp me. Like the fight scenes, the bullets, the whole that stuff, it's just not there. Like, the magic is not there. Like, and the guy's supposed to be like in the Matrix again. You know what? Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen it, the movie's already been out for like a whole year or something. Actually, it's on HBO Max. If you want to watch it, who knows? Maybe you'll think it's good, but I would say don't even waste your time. Don't tarnish your memory of the Matrix with that movie because it'll ruin it. Yeah, there's that. Jesus. What else have I been up to? Oh yeah, UFC. Let's talk about that. So I'm basically like making a tradition now that I almost watch UFC every Saturday fight night. I know sometimes they don't do it. Like maybe they'll skip a week. Sometimes they'll do it in the morning. Sometimes they'll do it like in London or something or Abu Dhabi. So it's like at different times. But for the most part, it's almost every Saturday fight night. And unless there's a pay-per-view, then it's still fight night, but you have to pay for it. At least the main card. So this last weekend was pretty good. There was a couple of fights that were pretty awesome. One was this guy, Andre Petroni, I believe his name is, or Petrosky. Let me pull it up here. He was on the last season of The Ultimate Fighter. If you haven't seen The Ultimate Fighter, you got to give it a watch because it's a fantastic show. And they showcase new fighters before they actually enter the UFC, if they enter the UFC. Yeah, so Andre Petrosky, he was on the show. He didn't actually win the Ultimate Fighter, but he got like second place or something like that. Sometimes I feel like if the UFC sees potential in the fighter, regardless if they win or not, they'll still kind of maybe give him a contract. Basically, if you do win the Ultimate Fighter, then they give you a contract to fight for the UFC. So that's how that works. So I think this is his actual second fight in the UFC. Or might have been the third. I think he had 2 fights before then. But he fought this guy, Nick Maximov, and I think he submitted him like in the first round. Yeah, at a minute and 16 seconds, he submitted him. So that was pretty good. There's Angela Hill versus Verna Jandiroba. I'm butchering these names. It's kind of unfortunate. Angela Hill's a pretty good women's fighter. Verna looks like a man. I think she might be a man, to be honest. So I think it's not really fair that that she won because she's very manly to me, and I don't know. She looks jacked. She looks like she's on all the sauce. Let's see. I'm just trying to go over the really memorable fights here. There was Amanda Ribas and Caitlin Chukagian. I'm butchering all these names today. It's a pretty good fight. Actually, it's probably one of the better fights of the night. Unfortunately, Amanda Ribas lost against Caitlin. I feel, in my opinion, my humble opinion, actually, I think this might have been what the judges scored anyways, was the first round went to Ribas, second round went to Chukakin, but it could have gone to Ribas. It was pretty close. And then ultimately the third round went to Chukakin, and she ended up winning by decision. And then, let's see, there was the co-main event, which was Ryan Spann and Ian Cutelaba, which I think they call him the Hulk. I thought that Cutelaba was going to win coming into it, but boy, was I wrong. Ryan Spann ended up submitting him. I don't know if it was a Darce choke or some form of guillotine, but good for Ryan Spann. I think they call him the Superman. So it was like Superman against the Hulk, which is pretty hilarious. And Superman ended up winning. And then the main event was Jan Blachowicz and Alexander Rakic. And this was a pretty good fight from the beginning. It was almost like pound for pound. I think all the rounds could have gone either way. This was a 5-round fight. Ended up being called at the third round at a minute and 11 seconds. Jan Blakovic. I think it's Jan. It's a J, but I think they pronounce it with a Y, like Jan Blakovic. Was giving this guy some brutal leg beatings. Was just kicking him in the leg over and over again. And then ultimately, what ended up happening, they called it a KO, TKO, was that Alexander Rakik, his right knee ended up buckling in, and he couldn't stop. He couldn't like walk or step anymore. So the ref jumped in and called the fight. So good for Jan Blakovic. That's going to push him to fight someone further up in the ranking. I think this might help him get back into a rematch with Israel Adesanya, which I think he actually won. I think he's one of the few fighters who actually beat Israel. Don't correct me on that, or don't quote me on that, but you can correct me on that. Just don't quote me on it. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. But I think he's the only one, or one of the few people that actually has beaten Israel, but I'm pretty sure it was by decision too. So to see them go back to back to do a rematch would be great. But we'll see. Anyways, that's all the UFC for this last weekend. I kind of just gave you like the highlights. Let's go into current events. Forgot that I have it pulled up here on my iPad as well. So my first current event, this one is hilarious. It's hilarious, but it's also kind of scary. And I don't know. I think adults need to really watch their kids a little bit more, because crazy shit is happening that should not be happening inside of schools. So the title of this article is "Fifth Grader Brings Weed Gummies, aka edibles, to Livonia school that kindergartner brought margaritas." So if you didn't know, about 3 weeks ago, there was a school, I think it was in the Los Angeles County area, where there was some kids there was a child who brought margaritas. Let me just read it here. It was just 3 weeks ago that Fox 2 reported on Grand River Academy in Livonia, where a kindergartner brought margaritas and Dixie cups to school for snack time. For snack time, like, yeah, let's get lit. I said, now at the same school, 2 11-year-olds were hospitalized. Okay, see, that's the part that's not funny. I don't like that at all. You got to watch your kids. You also, if you're going to, if you have controlled substances or things that can impair you, you got to keep them away from your kids. These kinds of things should not be happening. 2 11-year-olds were hospitalized after one of them brought marijuana edibles to school. Looks like Crystal Morton contacted Fox 2 after learning her son was given a marijuana edible in their 5th grade classroom. She said her son didn't know that the funny feeling he was experiencing was a high from the THC in edibles. Well, yeah, that school's fucking lit. That school, this kind of stuff kind of sounds ghetto, but the things that are being brought into the school kind of seem like rich people shit to me. Margarita mix, edibles. Like if the if the article was like 40s and I don't know, blunts, then I'd say, okay, this is pretty ghetto. But this sounds like it's kind of more coming from rich people. And I mean, it's a Grand River Academy, so yeah, that has rich people shit written all over it. Come on, guys, watch your kids, This kind of shit should not be happening. All right, next up we got Best Buy employees stop robbery with Hall of Fame defense. So basically, it says here, let me just read it. 3 men quickly find out that they messed with the wrong shift. It's hard to tell, but as the video shows, our soon-to-be criminals go after the table models. Actually, this video is hilarious. I'm pretty sure I know how to add videos to this, so you'll see it soon if you haven't already. If I haven't already put it up. But anyways, these guys like try to take like the floor model phones or some shit, and they do a terrible job at it, first of all. And afterwards, okay, yeah, they're talking about it here. Our soon-to-be criminals go after the table models of what we can only assume are phones, tablets. Side note, I never realized how strong those cables are connected underneath these tables. But one of the men finds out real quick that he's not getting away with anything. Yeah, idiots, morons. Now to the real heroes. We counted at least 6 employees, both blue shirt and black shirt, playing outstanding defense, making sure these clowns don't leave the store. I'm just glad that this group of men got to relive the glory days of high school, at least for one more day. Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. The Cleveland Browns could never. That's hilarious. A lot of people are saying they should sign these guys to the NFL. And, the Cleveland Browns might not be a bad team to do it with. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so this one's going to be a video. I'll have it. I'll put it up right now. This is a road rage incident was caught on camera in McDermott, Nevada, and a truck driver couldn't look away. Thankfully, nobody was seriously hurt, and the man behind the wheel was arrested. As Jose Lozoya was driving into town, he noticed an 18-wheeler pulling into a parking lot, hitting an SUV. In the process, the truck continued to drive around the back of the building before emerging from the other side and now in the opposite direction of travel. Basically, he hit this car in the parking lot and then drove around a building, and then the guy who's recording kind of goes up to him, and then the truck driver hits the car next to him, and it kind of seems like the guy who was recording got hit too. Not really too sure what that dude's deal was. I couldn't really find anything more on it, but I'll put the video up. This one's super interesting, but I don't know how I feel about this kind of stuff, because anytime that Elon Musk is in the news about something that he's doing, I feel like he's a flake. Like, he likes to troll. Like, he says he's gonna do something and then he doesn't do it. So this is kind of like a two-parter. Like, I guess he's kind of backing out of Twitter. Like, he's thinking he's not gonna buy Twitter anymore. From as far as I know, I really don't fuck with Twitter that much, so I don't know. It doesn't really affect me, or I don't really see it or know what that means really. But this one, this article, they're talking about how Elon Musk is thinking about building an underground tunnel system underneath Las Vegas, which actually is pretty dope. I actually kind of hope he does do this. I think it would be badass if he did it. It sounds like some super futuristic shit. When I think about the future, I think about like flying cars, maybe. I also think about like underground cities and stuff. And then like the middle part, which would be just like on top of the ground, is like the oldest part. And they got too populated, so they started building underneath and building really high with flying cars and cars underneath the ground. So I guess this is something that's kind of already gone into place. They did like a test version of it. I think there's already a tunnel that leads from one part of a convention to another, and it's like about a mile long. So I think they did this to kind of just to break ground and just to kind of test it out and see how it would go. Well, it seems like now they're gonna do it on larger scale, which would be awesome, because really what that's going to do is going to take a lot of the traffic and congestion that's above. And I mean, I used to live in Las Vegas, so this kind of hits home a little bit. I lived there for like 5-6 years, and I drove around every single day for work all over the city. And right there on I-15, that goes kind of alongside the strip a little bit, gets super congested. Anywhere around the strip or downtown, and those highways get super congested around certain times of the day. So to alleviate that and have it go underground or something like that, badass. I'm all for it. I hope this is true. I hope we can get it done. I think it would make a world of difference. And it kind of sucks because if it does get done, then I'll never really get to get the fruits of his labor. Like, if I live there, then I'd be like, okay, now I don't have any traffic going to work. But whatever, it is what it is. I hope it gets done regardless. I think it's the future. I think this could actually, if they do it and it like makes sense and they can do it everywhere, I think they should do it to every single really congested, overpopulated city in America. and it'll just control traffic that much more and make everyone's life so much easier. Not everyone will be so angry and then speeding and in a rush to get to places because of traffic. I don't know how I feel about this one. I mean, I know how I feel about it. It's tragic. So over the weekend, I believe it was on Saturday, May 14th, there was a mass shooting in Buffalo at a supermarket. I believe the supermarket is called Tops. Basically, they're saying that it was a hate crime. It was a white man who did this, and supposedly he was live streaming the attack onto Twitch. So I think there's video of it somewhere. I kind of tried looking for it, but not hard enough. I couldn't find it with just me typing it in, so I didn't really want to watch it that much because that kind of shit it kills me, and it's super unfortunate. And I hate that this kind of stuff keeps happening more and more often. Seems like, and it doesn't seem like it's gonna stop. And it makes you worried and makes you think like, when is it going to be like the day when I go to the supermarket and all I'm trying to do is just get some eggs and some groceries to feed my family, and some crazy fucking maniac, decides to do the worst and most evil shit, imaginable, and just start unloading on innocent civilians for no reason other than the fact that he's fucked in the head and, probably hates himself and he's a goddamn loser and just wants to see the world burn. There's a special place in hell for these kind of people. I'm pretty sure. And I hope everything horrible that could happen to someone happens to this guy and all the other guys who have committed heinous acts like this before too. So a total of 13 people were shot, 10 fatally. I think 10 people actually died. 4 of the people who were shot were store employees, including the security guard. Poor people. And my condolences to their families too. Out of the 13 victims, 11 are black, while 2 are white, according to someone. I think it's just like a witness. Okay, so Buffalo Police Commissioner Joseph. Oh, okay, this is who, according to this guy, Joseph Gramaglia, said the suspect drove to the Tops Friendly Market store around 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, wearing tactical gear. He shot 4 people in the parking lot, Gramaglia said, and then went inside the store where a security guard engaged him. The suspect shot and killed the guard and then continued to work his way through the store. Terrible. Super unfortunate. I hate hearing these kinds of things. And like I said, I don't think they're going to stop. I think they're going to continue to happen. And, it just kind of makes you think, like, should everyone carry a gun with them? I'm thinking about, I have protection for my, where I live, my home. But I don't really carry. I don't have a CCW, concealed carry weapon. Yeah, something like that. I don't have a CCW, but I'm really thinking about getting one. Who knows if that will actually help me if I'm ever in that type of situation. But I think I'd feel a lot better knowing that I have protection on me in case something like this ever happens. It seems like it's happening everywhere at all times, just randomly. It's not just, this is only happening on a certain part of the United States. It's all across the country. And it's super unfortunate. That's all I got to say about that. Sorry to be a bearer of bad news. I hate hearing stuff like that. Anyways, let's change the subject. Let's go to the my video of the week and festivities of me having a new baby. I found this video, which I thought was pretty interesting. It's about babies. I'm just going to play a portion of it here, and then I'll have it up on the video as well.
Right, yeah.
When Lucy Bear found out she was going to be a mom again, it was not news she was expecting.
No, not at all.
The mom of stepson Cole and daughter
So I guess there's a
Harper
trend,
struggled with
an ugly
miscarriages
babies
over the years
trend on
and
TikTok.
had given up on the idea of growing her family.
We
This is what
got
we've come
a
to.
third dog at the end of
TikTok.
September 2019. And my excuse was, well, we're not going to have any more kids. And then February 2020, we find out about Reese.
Reese, her miracle baby. After 9
Miracle
months
baby.
of waiting, they finally got to meet her. A moment this mom will never forget.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
I'm pretty sure I looked at my husband and was like, she's healthy.
Lucy
So fucked
dreaming
up.
her daughter would look just like her. Instead,
Talking
coming
shit
out
about her
looking
baby.
anything but.
She just had a really big nose. And
She does have a big
I
nose.
was like,
My-
oh, okay. Well,
Let's stop this.
and even Harper, when
My baby, my firstborn Vincent, he had a big old nose. He had like a cherry tomato. I mean, look at me. I mean, I'm basically a bird too. This beak on me. But I feel bad. I mean, this baby is healthy. Her nose is pretty big. You'll see it. I don't think that she should be posting her baby on TikTok, calling it the ugly baby trend. I guess it went viral. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, my son now, he had a big old cherry tomato nose when he was born, but he's so cute and adorable. Like, he's a year and a half now, and I don't know, you don't really notice it that much at all. He's a cute kid. So hopefully maybe the same thing will happen to this lady's daughter. But it's a pretty big nose. Well, I would like to maybe follow back on this someday and see.
he held her for the first
how
time,
she
she
looks
looked
like.
at me and goes, she looks kind of weird, doesn't she? And I was like, "Ugh, you're not wrong."
Oh, baby girl.
While many moms may not want to admit it,
Ah,
Lucy
she looks
embraced
decent.
her daughter's unique
I
look,
think it's just a bad picture.
sharing her with the rest of the world.
This trend started where people were saying like, oh, we thought our newborn was going to be so cute, and then they came and they were not. And I was like, I win this.
The Ugly Baby Challenge. Overnight,
Goddamn,
her
women,
TikTok
like,
exploded.
chill, that's your
More than
baby.
22 million views and counting.
People on TikTok have commented, she looked like Dobby from Harry Potter. She looks like
That's so
Mr.
fucked
Bean.
up.
While she says she's had some haters,
People are commenting like, oh my gosh, not a mom calling her baby ugly. And like, you were a horrible mom. She's going to
is that her?
self-esteem issues.
she's just keeping
Yeah,
it real.
she grew into her
She's
nose.
fine.
Yeah, she's cute.
Fine. I'll tell her all about it one day. This whole
She's
situation
adorable.
is going to go in her baby book. And
Is it
we'll
he or
laugh
she?
about it. She's going to have a great sense of humor.
Reminding other moms that not all
that's
babies are
great.
perfect.
Anyways, that was it for this week. I hope you guys all have a blessed week, a blessed day, blessed life. Shout out to all the new fathers and mothers out there. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.